Alright, so welcome to the 7th episode of SmashCenter. I'm your host, Suar from PGstats. It's been a pleasure now taking you through 7 of these bad boys. We got a lot in store for you, but we're covering, first and foremost, Frostbite 2019. We're going to get to that in a second, but if this is your first time ever into SmashCenter, this is where we recap the most relevant Smash Ultimate results, controversies, and more. We are going to be joined by Coney right after we're through this recap, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. If it's your first time, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Otherwise, if this is Twitch for you, welcome, because you're getting the live real deal. So let's hop right into it as we have our nice writing summation provided by Thwack, member of the PG team. That's Thwack Smash. You can find him online on Twitter. He is a tremendous writer and has helped with a lot of the content that I'm going to be giving you tonight. So first off, Frostbite 2019, one of the biggest events of the season, the second S tier for the PGR for Ultimate, and we have a lot that happened, so let's break it down really quick. Of course, you have Tweak winning the entire thing. Frostbite 2019, Tweak is your champion. He took it over MVG, Fox, MK Leo, Mexico's champion. Leo unfortunately fell to Tweak after being double eliminated by him, both in winner's bracket and then in grand final. So Tweak was able to take the entire run, I think it's 11-0. I mean, he didn't drop a single cent to losers. Tremendous work by Tweak. Tweak and Leo, again, perceived to be the best Super Smash Bros. Ultimate players at the current moment. They met in bracket for the first time in winners finals. Tweak reverse 3-0'd him. Interestingly enough, he started with the White Yeti DK, maybe an homage to Frostbite, who knows? And that was somewhat of the bane of Leo's existence back in Smash 4. Heavies gave him a lot of trouble, especially grapplers like Donkey Kong. And he lost, clutching it all with Wario after he made that switch. Newly signed Myron got 3rd place in the tournament to the surprise of many, an Olimar main from Fort Myers, Florida. This was his highest Super Major placement to date, 9th at Genesis 6. Again, an amazing showing already in Ultimate, and he wasn't even sponsor cursed. Again, many Smashers, when they get signed, they have that pressure on them. Myron proved to us that that was no problem for him at all. He double eliminated Japan's Shutone, who got 4th place, the one previously thought to be the best Ultimar. They're both in contention right now, but Myron seemed to have come out on top now, along with his result from Genesis 6. He won the Ditto in winners and forced Shutone to play Richter in the very memorable Richter Olimar set that we saw in losers. Game 5, it went to the end, and it was one of the best of the tournament, many spectators claimed. Speaking of Olimars, we had DeBuzz, Frostbite 2018 champion, let's not forget. He finished at 17th place, victim to one of the bigger upsets of the tournament. He was sent to losers 3-0 by Tease Pac-Man, a Pac-Man from Japan who got 13th place and later lost to Void in a close game 5. Again, a tremendous player. He also top 8'd at Genesis 6. But someone that we need to talk about immediately is New England's Light, newly signed by Rogue. He tied with Cosmos for 5th place and was eliminated by Myron, that Fort Myers Olimar, that pesky guy. And before Myron played, he played MBD and barely clutched out the Game 5, another one of the best sets of the tournament. Speaking about, again, in the Northeast, we got Shoyo James. This man was sent to losers in Phase 1 of pools by DRN. Sorry if I mispronounced, maybe it's Dren. 97th place Dren got, but Shoyo made it all the way through a loser's run to 9th place, beating the names of Esam, Hikaru, DM, Pelka, Mutace, Void, and a few others. Incredible to say the least. Nairo beat him in a close Game 5 to qualify for top 8 losers with solo Crom, not making any switches. A character that started very dominant but fell off and was dropped by many players after recovery started to be exploited, and you get the whole deal. You know how the meta goes. Wishes gets 9th and Chicago's Ned gets 17th. A solo Pokemon trainer, again, a character in this meta who was propelled at least to fame by Leffen, but many have claimed that working all those gears together, that big brain needed for Pokemon Trainer at the top level kind of doesn't cut it, but Ned showed us that it is indeed possible. And Samsora actually got his lowest placing, E United. He got 13th, being a very big departure from his top 8 performance that we saw at Genesis 6. He was sent to losers by Wishes and eliminated by MVD. All in all, an exciting tournament with a lot of new faces and brilliant performances by everyone. The crew battle between Japan and USA, sorry, not USA, USA, Canada, and Mexico went incredibly well for Japan since we lost it. North America in shambles. But other than that, Tweak had a very strong performance, the strongest to date, of course, winning the second S tier of the season, and it still didn't get him into Summit, which we're going to talk about later. Smash Ultimate Summit, which is set to happen next month, features the best of the best for both Ultimate and some big personalities of Melee, so that leaves a lot of people scratching their heads. Will he go to Nimbus Qualifier and take the final spot, as a lot of people are asking? We'll go ahead and break down more of that here in a moment, when I'm joined by my very, very special guest, Coney. But before that, I just want to say, if you're tuning in, the SmashCenter by PGstats is my favorite thing to do as of late. If it's your first time, my name is Suar, and this is the PGstats Corner, basically where we're able to give you the most on Smash results, info, controversies, and more. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring in the co-host with the most. We're going to bring our boy from MDVA, the man who worked nearly 2,000 blocks of commentary. We now have Coney on the mic. Coney, how are we doing tonight?
Hi, everybody. Sorry if I sound like I've smoked 15 packs. I'm trying to keep it low. I'm trying to keep it easy. So it's really funny. The way that it sounds in my ears is fine. Like, it doesn't sound that bad. But then I went back and I listened to it. I rewatched the VOD, and it's a disaster. It sounds so bad. So I'm sorry for assaulting your ears with that. I'm feeling okay. I'm exhausted. I'm very tired. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get through the show pretty quickly so I can just go zonk out. I slept maybe 2 or 3 hours last night because my flight was at 7 a.m. So.
Ooh, 7 a.m.?
Yeah, I'm running on fumes, so.
Alright, well, I mean, glad to have you, honestly. You wanted to do it Monday, and I thought you were crazy, but you're here today. I think that you didn't sound bad during the event. I think you sounded passionate. How about that?
It's a good way to put it, yeah. That's a way to dress it up. That's fine.
Yeah, so Frostbite has ended, and I guess, I'm feeling a lot of different ways. I'm sure that you feel the same. I mean, first off, it was an event not to miss, right? It was an event you had to be at. I'm sure you would agree.
Oh, yeah.
But, what was your biggest takeaway? Even before, we talk about the results, I mean, what's your biggest, memory that you're going to take into next year, Frostbite 2020?
Probably the Richter Dare. That Richter Dare was the most insane thing. I tweeted this, and it sounds like a joke, but it's literally not. There have only been 2 things that have ever made me react like that, and it was watching Salem win Apex 2013 and that Richter Dare. It totally blew my mind. But
that was ahead of its time. That Richter Dare,
just absolutely insane. But yeah, so in terms of what I think I'm going to take away from this, more so than any specific thing that happened at Frostbite, I think everything was just executed just as well as any other event ever has. And I think the reason that that's good is because if you've noticed, it feels like we've got these major event series month after month, and Frostbite has sort of solidified itself in that February bracket. It's kind of taken that over, which is a pretty prime slot. That used to be taken up by Apex, January, February. So we've got Genesis in January, Frostbite in February, and I feel like we're continuing the trend of these super majors being just as, if not more, successful than they've been in past years. It feels like it's the next level, it's the next step up, and I really feel like it bodes well for Frostbite 2020, which is, I'm pretty sure, definitely going to happen. Just the fact that these things are constantly iterating, getting better. We have events like Smash and Splash and SmashCon, which are doing the same thing. I think that bodes really well for us, that we're not coming out of it sort of thinking it was a misstep or things weren't handled properly. I mean, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, and dead of winter. SmashCon benefits from school being out. Evo benefits from being Evo and school being out. I mean, this is end of February, right? And one of the reasons I didn't go was, it's in the middle of the school year. But also,
Yeah.
you had over 1,000 people go anyways. So
Yeah, 1,200, I think. That's crazy.
yeah, 1,200, and that's a testament to like the work that the Frostbite staff put in. That's going to be unrivaled. MVG, Gucci Gaming, the head TO staffs of Coolori Bro, Vayseth, everybody involved, and like shout outs to them. So props to
Yes.
them. But I will say that viewership too. Genesis breaking what it broke, and then Frostbite coming shy of 100K. I want to say the last stats that I saw, at least, without like bringing in, I don't know, restreamers and everybody like on Earth that like hit that restream, it seemed to like hit above 90, close to 100. Might as well call it 100.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was like 90, 95,000, something along those lines is what I read, which is, that's phenomenal. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that bodes well considering that like, again, looking in the past, the 2GC, the whole major every weekend, like every other weekend, like the saturation. Now it seems tempered, and it also seems like, all right, life is happening, esports is happening in other departments. I can tune into Smash once a month, and like I saw by PPU, I saw by Leffen, I saw by like multiple Melee players like shifting over their lens for a moment, and that was great because it's like, all right, we're focused, and then anything that happens other from that is like gravy, because like if FGC talks about it, everything else is fine. But running right along, right, the results from it was what we talked about last week verbatim, with it not being the showing that like many thought it would be for Leo. I mean, he did get second, but that's amazing that Tweak won. I mean,
sorry if that's getting picked up. By the way, I have a husky and he won't shut up. Huskies just never stop talking.
I mean, chat's here for the husky, but no, it's fine. I mean, Tweak winning thoughts, because if Leo won, I don't think it would have been the darkest timeline, but I think it would have been a little not bland, but bland. I mean,
less interesting for sure. We talked about it on the previous show where it was like, if we kept seeing him do the thing where he was winning over and over and solidifying his number one spot, and it would just be way less interesting. I really like the fact that Tweak won it. All of my sort of Tweak bias aside, I think it really means a lot for us, especially, and we're kind of hinting at something we're going to talk about later, but especially considering right now we're at this state where people are wondering, hey, is the game already feeling kind of stale, and is the meta feeling a little solved, and are things a little simple? We can talk about that in a little bit during the open mic, but I think having Tweak take it over Leo, especially in a way that like we were kind of doubting if he could do it, especially on the big stage like that. So I'm really happy he was able to make it work.
Bro, it was hands. Like, it was straight up hands. Leo obviously could kill me, not even picking up the controller, but like, I mean, Tweak definitely showed that aura that the top players every now and then show towards each other, and he did it. I mean, he did it not even like, I mean, he definitely worked at it, but like, he didn't drop into losers. He didn't get upset. He did everything he needed to do, and that was incredible. Right. And I think that now, because I tweeted about it, and I said, the PGR season is now interesting, because if Leo won it again, I mean, having two of those nuggets,
two S tiers
in your pocket, I mean, it's like, people were already that way when it was mid-season for Zero, like back then it was like, well, no one can touch him, because the last person to get second at that major got 13th right at the other one. Sam Sawyer being one of those players, like, gets top 8 at an S tier, and then the next one he got 13th, which, like, I saw Mires talk about, like, yes, because there was a lot of, like, players that, we can also talk about that open mic, but I'll just bring it up now because it is results-based. Players that were at the top back then, like, still at the top now, but, like, if you don't get top 8, basically if you don't win the tournament, like, no one really remembers. And I saw Mires got into a dialogue with it, with Toasty about it, considering the fact that, like, if you don't get top 8, people don't remember you in the results. Like, the results page is that top 8, and if you got 9th, like, a lot of people don't remember that. And every time the PGR came out, a lot of people were like, so-and-so got 9th at EVO, which, like, 9th at EVO, bro. Like, 9th at EVO is huge. So, definitely have to put it for, like, a little bit of a misstep for some of the players. They feel that they have to perform at the highest possible standard, which of course is competitors, but like also it just started. Like it's the end of February, there's only been 2 majors. I mean, people are getting spooked by characters like, you know, from all sorts, from what we saw, Greninja, from what we saw, like Wario is every now and then from Tweak. Like the things are just still happening, and like I don't think we can take the 4 years we had at the end of the game and continue as if it's like the same game. But
yeah, too many people are trying to treat it like this is almost like a sequel, but it's more like a spin-off. Like you can't just take the same people and just dump them into the next thing and expect them to be at the same level. And one thing I think all competitors should remember is that honestly, most Smash players, their memories are very short. Like if you haven't done anything in the past month, it doesn't. It's that way for commentators too. Yeah, exactly. Like if you haven't been at an event in a month and you haven't performed, it's over. You're washed. You're never coming back. And all you need is another. Like to me, I mean, dude got top 8 at Glitch with 600 plus people with strictly Bayonetta having an amazing run, and then now he, you know, maybe underperformed a little, and people are already, you know, saying, and I don't know if he's helping that based on the stuff that he's been saying, but regardless, people are immediately trying to discredit him and discount him, and I'm sure once he has another killer run, they'll be like, oh, well, I always knew he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely like as soon as an old favorite gets bopped, they're washed, or if they come in through winners, like Ryuga, right? It's like, I knew it. That was my boy the whole time. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like, let's be honest here. Like, Ryuga is a solid, above solid player. But, like, in the beginning, like, Ultimate, I mean, so many people have made an impact yet. And he made his just now, like, very much so. But, like, taking a look at these results on top of the crazy character spread. First off, character spread right now, even without looking at this being the second month, I mean, how do you feel now having been through, let's see, how old are you again? So it's like Brawl, PM, Smash 4, now this. So that's like 80 generations of Smash. Like, how does this look? I mean, how does this look like, you know, for someone second month into the game? I mean, no one aside from the Olimars really played themselves, and Lucina, right?
Much better than Brawl, I can tell you that. If you could look at old Brawl, so I just
month two though.
Month two, that's true. But if you look at the old Brawl results threads, it's just like that mask over and over and over. The stock icon for Meta Knight is on everybody's face. It's crazy. If you guys ever want to have a giggle, go look at the Apex 2013 results and look at the stock icons. It's crazy.
Apex 2015 results. 2013.
Yeah.
Smash boards.
Look at the Brawl results. Yes.
Is that an archived website?
It's somewhere on Smashboards. I don't know what it is, but if you look at Apex 2013 Brawl results, you'll be able to find it. But I can tell you, looking at this, I really think that this bodes well for the future of the game. I think it's very clear that certain top tiers are getting established, but there's also a lot of characters that are only really being piloted by one person. I mean, we know that a few people can have really good results with Palutena, but how many people are actually doing it consistently? Nairo underperformed Genesis. He finally had a good run here, but I mean, Palutena isn't totally sweeping everywhere. She's not in every top 8.
Yeah, I don't want to say, sorry to interrupt, I don't think she's the Cloud of Smash 4 in the sense of like strength, but I think she's the Cloud of Ultimate in the sense of usability. Like, everybody got a Cloud out when he came out back then, and I think everybody's got like a Palu like somewhere in their pocket.
She's very straightforward, very straight, and very good when played. She's one of those characters that's very good when played like you don't exactly know what you're doing. And I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like, just she's able to play with her foot back a lot and holding backward on the control stick and playing very defensively. She's good in that situation, so you don't need to overcommit.
Yeah, and I think now it's shifting from Palu to Wolf, but also we're not seeing so many Wolves in this top 8. I mean, aside from, Zachary, who didn't even make it to top 8. But like, take a pause for a second, because I actually did just Google what you said, and this is like kind of gross.
Check it out.
Salem first Apex 2013 as a zero suit. Also, 3K in the bag. That's impressive. That's old money. That's like Then Mewtwo King, MK,
Think of inflation.
Otori, MK, Nairo MK, anti-MK, down to Dojo MK. Okay, so half of the top 8 is Meta Knight, and then 2 Marts, and then an Olimar and a zero suit.
So what you see, and this is always kind of fascinating, is that you see the top 8 is usually like 5 or 6 Meta Knights in top 8, but then like 13th through 17th is just like, because what happens is at the top level they figure out how to beat it, but the Meta Knights from like 13th to 33rd just like blow it up. It's insane.
So we got character diversity. We got a nice showing, and I think that you're right when you talk about this piloting, because like I appreciate right now at least that when we're looking at these characters, it's not, oh yes, there probably will be some Olimars and a Richter or 2 on For Glory this week, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't just net you a win. Same thing with Snake. Palutena, on the easier side. Lucina on the fundamental side. But Fox, Inkling, you can't just pick them up and then get those results.
Olimar in particular, I think if you've got to have any pocket character sort of invade your weeklies, Pocket Olimar is the one you want, because good God, Pocket Olimars are awful. They're the button in your pocket from a sweater 4 years ago.
But the very specific.
I'm gonna pet this jerk so he stops yelling.
No, that's cool. I haven't heard him. Let's get dogs in the chat, please. So when we're talking about, though, like having a pocket Olimar, the thing about Palutena, the thing about Cloud at least, is that they are somewhat easy to use. I mean, the buttons work themselves. I mean, there's no flow chart. It's just a flow line. And no disrespect to Palutena players. I mean, all 8,000 of you, but it's more so like I don't feel like Olimar can just be picked up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you tweeted it, but someone tweeted that it's like playing an RTS and a fighting game at the same time. I mean,
someone else did, but yeah, I know that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, like, listen, we're not gonna like overrate and blow up Pikmin management as like Calc AB, but it's not something that like your average layman player is gonna be like, I am 3rd PR'd in my Midwest region with Olimar like overnight.
It's a really tough mechanic.
Yeah. So I like that it's not as crazy. But Wario, Young Link, we didn't include Donkey Kong, got too wild. And Wolf, from Tweak. I mean, I asked you before the show, and we'll end on results on this note. But like, as a Wario player, both now and several generations of Smash, Tweak's Wario, like, is it that good?
So I tweeted this, and I keep saying that a billion times, but if you ever want to see everything that I'm thinking at all times, go ahead and check it out on twitter.com/ConeyZZ. So when I watch Tweak play, like Wolf, Young Link, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong less so. I think the Donkey Kong is phenomenal. But any obviously good character, I feel like I'm just watching any other amazing player pilot that. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm seeing a really good Wolf. What I saw against him against Cosmos in the last stock of one of his games was just he nared 6 times in a row. It's like, all right, well, that's godlike. That's good. Yeah, it's good, but like that's Wolf. But like the way that I try to describe it is like the other things are like characters, but the Wario is this like Lovecraftian, eldritch, like sort of unfathomable terror. Like he plays in a way that we've never seen. I've never seen. And I don't like the way that he moves, the way that he gets in and out of these hits, and at a surface level is very basic, because all he's doing is he's just naring into you. It's a cross up because he goes behind you. If he hits you with the second hit, obviously it pops you into an up air. But it's the really small sort of micro interactions that if you look very closely are just fascinating to me personally. Like just the way that he dashes in and out, just the outspace stuff. There's one point where he knew Leia was going to forward smash, so he just ran in the other direction. He doesn't shield it. He uses defense with movement. And I feel like he does it with Wario because he's more comfortable with Wario's movement than he is with a character maybe he's spent less time with. But instead of shielding the forward smash, he literally does a short dash out and does a short dash back in and then grabs him. It's the most phenomenal thing. I think it's just one of those situations where Wario's likely a worse character than Wolf, obviously, but Tweak is much more comfortable on him, so he can play him to a level that nobody else can.
Yeah, so Tweak's Wario is nasty. And I think that his movement mirrors that of Zachary's, of like semi-playing like an amiibo and using movement defensively as opposed to offensively, which is what we're all trained to do, and shielding. Because there's no power shielding, and parrying is still underdeveloped, except by the likes of Light, Mars, Zachary, probably any Japanese player, Tweak, and Leo. I don't see parrying. James
is another one because when I was commentating his sets.
Yeah, dude, James. All those mall setups that he was at.
For real. Like, it's, yeah.
He was at that mall, bro. He was at that mall.
A lot of time at the mall at the Best Buy. I'm sure he did.
Parry Master. Go on.
Yeah, so what he would do is he said that he really wanted to figure out how to parry get-up attacks. Because, like, if a Crown parries a get-up attack, that's a stock.
Yeah.
Like, no question. That stock's over. Like, against
that's higher level thinking now.
So he wanted to find that sort of, not a win condition, but sort of a stock condition. And I saw him do it so much, and people would stop get-up attacking. And when you stop doing that, that limits your, drop down, get-up attack, normal get-up, roll, jump. Your 5 options are now 4. So, like,
what a god.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, you have a 25% chance of just getting blown up. So it's just, I think he's using it in a way that's really complementary to his character, and I'm really interested to see how other people sort of adapt that into their playstyle.
Yeah, def. I think that with everything going into the results that we saw, like, all these players are keyed into that. All these players are, all right, this is not Smash 4. Like, it's very much not Smash 4 anymore. And you see it here. So, first goes to Tweak, second MKLeo, third Myron, which, by the way, like, I did not expect that. 20th seed, Myron, you told me 2 weeks ago Myron's going to get third at Frostbite. I'd be like, can you, what? Like, no way.
I mean, like, at every event, somebody has a breakout run, right? And this was Myron's event. And he just happened to keep going. Like, usually what happens is there's a breakout run and the dude gets like 7th or 5th. You did great, but now we're gonna watch the big boys play. You know, it's like you're almost there, but
I enjoy Myron on the basis that he is a character loyalist, and we nunchuck in tow until it was literally not functional within this game.
Yeah.
He switched and has made it. He turned in his old AA battery dying mid-set Wii nunchuck, which happened a couple of times, and people would be like, that's a stock. He paused.
Yep, that's it. It's over.
So now using a Pro Controller, I imagine, and he got third.
Somebody made a joke. Sorry to interrupt you. Somebody made a joke. They were like, if I see that, like, Pro Controller battery low thing go up and
I'm circle camping.
Yep, I'm running away. I'm going to the other end of the stage. Just, oh, what, bro? I'm just playing defensively. I was going to do this anyway. It's so funny.
Dude, it's real. But, yeah, I mean, Myron did that. He didn't get third at, like, a little C tier EGLX or some Florida regional Tampa Never Sleeps. Like, third at Frostbite. That's a big W.
Yes.
And then also he got it over Shootone and beat him in the Ditto and beat him in the Richter. Yeah, so kind of like, I mean, is Myron the best Olimar of all time in Ultimate of all time right now?
Oh, okay. Of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time?
Someone's tweeting that right now, and someone's tweeting no Shootone is.
Myron tweeted that. Myron is tweeting that right now. I've seen it. It's in his bio. He says, I am the best Olimar in the world. And it's like...
What?
Yeah, that's in his bio. And, like, you don't want to be rude, but, like, you won the Ditto. Like, winning the mirror is not... And not to take anything away from him. He's nice, but, like...
To take everything away from him, it has only been 2 months.
Dude. Yeah,
best Olimar in the world, my guy.
I looked at it right after that, and there are other tweets about it.
That's high-key branding, first off. How to brand yourself. But, Myron, it has been 2 months, so you better hold that to, like, your chest, because, like, I hope Shootone, like, doesn't dethrone you from that, because, I mean, that's a big thing. Best Olimar in the world, that's... People know what that means, right?
Yeah, but what happens if what's the next event? Full Bloom. Full Bloom comes around, it's a B tier, it's an A tier, he underperforms. You're not going to take that out, right? So like, you really set yourself up for this. Maybe he can make it work. I don't know. But.
Well, congrats to Myron. I mean, regardless,
yes,
he did the thing, and then with everything else, like Shuton's right there with him, which I'm glad Japan. It didn't go like I wanted. It wasn't the whole like, Japan's every other flag. Only one Japanese representative. So Shuton took it. Cosmos in 5th, which I like. I think that's good. Not to his standard, which is always, again, you have to separate competitor from spectator. 5th out of 1,000 plus, godlike. 5th for a top player, I could do better. That's him. Same thing with Light.
He had to fight Tweak, because like what keeps happening is, he hates fighting Tweak because he always goes to game 5, but he can't make it. He can't close it out. If you watch their game 2, he was up a considerable amount against Tweak's Wolf, and then Tweak got a forward smash. He's like, yeah, you're gonna roll behind me. And that sucks, because the only reason he knows that is because y'all play and train every day, and he always does that to you. And it's just, I don't know, it sucks for Cosmos, but...
That's a crazy arc. That's a crazy arc. Yes, I mean, you're friendly. Like, imagine, like, seriously, like, everyone has that person. They're like, when are you getting on? I'm home. Like, host, right? Games.
Yep.
Imagine playing them on the center stage, and, like, that's your guy. So... yeah, poor Cosmos. He did outperform his seed, 11th seed, which is great. Light being now 2 top 8 visitor. 2 top 8 along with Leo, and that's it, actually. He's the only person, aside from Leo, to top 8 2 S tier events. Which
really?
Yeah. Huh. This is now giving me Larry vibes, which I'll be honest, I have not been paying attention to Larry's results. I have not seen Larry. I have not heard of Mr. Larry Lure. I admire Larry. He's a chill guy. He's super awesome, but like, I mean, at the end there was like some CDK, Light, Larry, who's the best Fox, but like, I mean, it's just like Light, like right now. Holy
Larry
wow.
He's flying super under the radar. A lot of people didn't even know he was at Frostbite. He was wearing all black with a black beanie. He was like super incognito.
What?
Yeah, he was at Frostbite.
I mean, I know, but like, I didn't even see him on stream. I didn't even see like the Larry set. I mean, Larry used to at Pound not let a little Mac touch the ground. Like, we went from that to like incognito, man, bro.
Yeah, he's super underground right now. And Ally
too, actually.
One of the sets I can't remember. Yeah, Ally's another one. But what I really appreciate about Larry is that, I think when a lot of these players that were amazing in Smash 4, but then didn't quite convert. I'm not going to name any names, but like...
Name them all.
There's a lot of these guys who feel like they feel that burn of the spotlight on them, and they instinctively feel like they have to put up their hands, and they're like, I don't get this game. I don't like it. I can't figure it out. There's something going on.
Yeah, but, open mic.
Yeah, but Larry, to his credit, is just
he's chill,
shutting up, buckling down, and learning.
Yeah, I'm right. I started at 0 like you guys. My loot is gone. Like, my body got looted. This is a new game of Fortnite. Like, I gotta build again, collect all my materials.
Exactly. This is it's a new game.
It's a new game.
New game, dude.
Bro, so
new drop.
So yeah, that's insanity. Naira 7th, I like that a lot. I like it only because
he doesn't. I can tell you that.
I know. Okay, for Nairo, yes, 1st, 2nd, that would have been a really, really good spot for him ranking wise. But to see him in top 8 is very refreshing.
Yeah.
He played right around his seed 8th. I remember he originally got seeded like 17th or 13th plus. Like, it was some wild, outlandish stuff, which, I mean, going by Genesis, like, I don't know if it was strictly wrong, but like, they had to put in some legacy, a little pepper of legacy.
Weird. Yeah.
And then MVD at 7th, which, props to MVD. I mean, that's
sure.
Snake. I think his Snake is the best thing to watch, Snake wise. It's not nice. It's not nice. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand it either. Like, you have Brawl Snake experience. I do not, but I don't understand why he's allowed to do what he does. And
you know what I think it is? I think that Snake is he's like a more extreme, like a better character version of a Belmont, where there are certain characters that he is going to absolutely stuff out of the game. Like,
but it's like, how he's allowed to have 2 nades out at the same time, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the C4 on the ground, right?
Yep.
And potentially a mortar in the air, right?
And Nikita.
And
he has that too.
Well, I mean, Nikita would have already had to have been. That's insane.
But
Why?
You could drop it. You could throw it up and then drop it, and it slowly falls. It's just another thing.
Why is that allowed? Why is this? Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so Snake just has all this stuff, and it's really tough for certain characters to fight against him. I commentated Bayonetta against Snake, and good God, that is so difficult. Geist almost made it work. He was looking very strong against Pelka, but he couldn't do it. And then
Pelka, Brawl Legend, New England homie,
yes,
for sure, hype.
Yes. And then Donkey Kong is another one. What does Donkey Kong do?
I saw it
against Snake.
Did we see that? Did we commentate that at Genesis?
Yes, we did. It looks 9-1.
Yeah, IDK against MVD. Wow, that was 3 weeks ago.
But on the other side, there are certain matchups that are just a disaster for Snake. Ness is one of them. A well-played Ness is just, okay, no B buttons. 0 B buttons. That's out of the game. Another one is Game & Watch, which you wouldn't expect, but apparently Game & Watch is tough. I don't know if that's true. I've heard it because the bucket reflects and absorbs projectiles, which is crazy. And last one is it's on the tip of my tongue. Snake historically has had a really big problem with Olimar. I don't know if that's true now because I don't think we've seen it at the super top level just yet. We saw the Buzz against MVD and it went super last hit. That was to get into top 8 at Genesis, if I'm not mistaken, or top 3. No, that was before to get into top 8.
Sure.
But my point is that Snake is going to either totally destroy or totally have to Uber camp in order to be able to keep up with certain characters. So he's just really extreme on both ends.
Yeah, I'm glad he's leading that charge. That's cool to see someone who, I mean, clearly, he played a really nasty Diddy for sure, but that wasn't his soul main, if that makes sense. There was a lot of people in Smash 4 that similar to right now. I can tell you, Naira's been pretty public about it. He's in a character crisis. Zero Suit's not what she used to be. He's not a Paolo main. He's not a Lucina main. He's playing right now to the meta and playing well. But it seems like MVD is a Snake main, to the T. So
yeah, it's not a question.
Yeah, that's amazing for him. Top 8. 9th through 13th though. The 9th place size, 13th size, Shoyu, Ryuga, Wishes, wow. Wow. Leia, great for him.
Dude, I thought Leia was gonna be a buzzsaw. I didn't know who was gonna stop him. I thought he was gonna tear through Cosmos. Cosmos had some hardcore adjustments in their set. I thought Leia had his number and the number of the next 3 guys in front of him. Leia just was insane.
Yeah, no, I mean that's also great to see Japan come and make that sort of statement, especially with Greninja and Some thought to be better historically from Leia, and that was Leia. What? No. Yeah. Sam, sad to see him outside of top 8, but that's how it happens. T, Pac-Man. I don't have anything against T. I just have everything against Pac-Man, but I'm kind of high-key glad Pac-Man didn't make top 8, but it would have been pretty nice to see, especially if it was from T. Goblin, CFL, baby. That's.
Can I talk about the CFL thing? So I was commentating on a different set.
Right. Get them in the chat right now. Go on.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was commentating on the other set happening. So, Goblin versus Ryuga is happening on MVG, and I'm on Unrivaled. And there's a point where I have my headphones on like this. I literally cannot think. Seriously.
CFL, baby.
There's a point in the VOD where I stop for 3 seconds, and I say, I can't. I lost my train of thought because it's insane. It's just this loud, rumbling sound, and that was with my headphones on. I can only imagine if it was off. That noise was unlike anything I've heard. That place is a quagmire. I don't know what to think about CFL after that. Jesus Christ.
What about that yelling for Myron though? Anyways, back to the match.
Stand by your man.
CFL, shoutouts. CFL. That's branding, and again, we talk about branding. We talk about.
That's their thing. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, Goblin. I mean, wow. That's who was it? Tumultus, and I think Riot were talking about this man being an O2 kid you slap at a local. not even choosing your main, just walking
ZD
in.
was that. ZD was the same
ZD
way,
was that. ZD
Tails all the time, yeah.
Rags. Yeah, I traded sets with ZD. I traded sets with Light when I lived in
Yep.
Connecticut.
Light,
Like,
yep, that's another one.
like he wasn't, these weren't, I mean, O2, those guys always played to their own, though. They were also PR'd, like, eventually. But apparently Goblin, like, no hope in sight. Like, fundamentals were just like, bro, like, power shield, like, you're off stage, you're on stage, you don't have anything. Like, right now with Roy, I mean, 13? Hype. And then Void, which... That's a little... How do you feel about Void? Like, also outside of top 8. Again, Leo and Light being the only two to make it back into an S tier top 8. Back to
I'm
back.
going to be real with you. The fact that Void got as far as he did, he should be thankful.
Whoa.
This is not a shot against Void. Void knows I love him. Him and I talked about this at the after party. He had no business getting that far with the way he was playing. He SD'd every match I saw him in.
Oh, is that the Pikachu meme? Or the Pika meme? Or, geez, the Pichu meme? Like 5 times SDing or something?
It's crazy. He was against Komoda, the Kirby, and he SD'd 3 times in a 3-game set. He was playing with 2 stocks every game. He SD'd in the crew battle. He SD'd against so many people. Apparently, later on in the tournament, he didn't SD as much, which is great. But, I mean, to be able to get that far despite only having 2 stocks to play with and a lot of crucial sets, that is huge. So if he just has to tighten that up, and he knows that. He's not happy about it, obviously, but I got to talk with him and Nairo after the event, and they were pretty understanding over time.
So is it like a Pichu agility thing, like quick attack missing, like sort of deal? Like, was he doing that? Like,
no, he's just messing up the angles on quick attack. He would just go B, and he would die because he didn't get both. One time he went off stage with it. He tried to go right left, and he just went right.
Oh.
I don't know if he's like, maybe he's pushing too many buttons at once, and like he's holding right, and then he thinks he's flicking left.
Sure, I mean, it's a 2-directional, and if it takes the first input and blah, 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 and the input buffer, I mean, things that like muscle memory maybe aren't tuned to.
I think he's playing too fast. If I had to guess, I don't know.
Oh, but, yeah.
That would be my idea, but I mean, like, not every weekend's going to be your weekend, and he knows that, so...
Yeah, well, shout outs to him regardless. I mean, I mean, definitely he did not get lucky all the way till 13th, but imagine if he did an SD where he would have gotten. So, that about sums it up for the results. I think PGR wise, like, it's fun to describe first and second as such with like Leo Tweak. I mean, Leo clearly got the bigger S tier, but then Tweak double, eliminated him, and then. We got all this other talk, and then Tweak beat, and then blah, blah, blah. So I think that's hype. I think it's going to make the rest of the season more interesting, because, like, then who takes, like, Pound, and then, like, all this other stuff. Summit, by the way, like, won't be counting, because, like, it's not, like, a traditional invitational. I mean, invitationals in the past, like, the Umaburas and stuff that, like, had the quals and the LCQs, I mean, that's different, but, like, because of the voting, I mean, Summit is Summit, so don't get it twisted, because, I mean, like, how do we calibrate for, like, Mango? Like, it's silliness. But future summits, depending on how they do it, I mean, totally. And other invitationals, if they follow an open format, we're just trying to do accessibility here. So that's that on that. Meta impact, though, because a lot of people were talking about DSR, MDSR, MMDSR. Like, break it down for a layman, because I don't know if people understood how much of a problem it was. Because, like, aside from there being multiple Game 5s, I don't think people knew why there were multiple Game 5s.
Sure. So this is how, if you've never been in this situation, this is how these sets usually play out. First, what DSR is Dave's stupid rule. So essentially what it means is that if you win on a stage, you can't go back to that stage. If we go to Smashville, I win Game 1, and you decide to go to Battlefield Game 2 and you win, I can't go back to Smashville. That's usually put on when you have a stage list that's pretty small and conservative, like FD, Battlefield, Smashville, Town and City, Lilat, something like that. The problem, though, is that we have 100 and however many stages in the game, and we want to use them. So we have a big staging list. Tons of different stages. So we need 2 bans, because otherwise you just get 1 ban, and that's not enough to cover all of the different stages that we have. If you only have 1 ban, you ban Battlefield, somebody's taking you to Yoshi's. Yoshi's Story, not Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, triplat.
Yeah, tripod. They're functionally similar. They're not 1-to-1, which is why we have both, but they're functionally pretty similar. So you need 2 bands. Problem is, if you have 2 bands and DSR, it limits the pool severely. So we need some kind of modified thing, because what happens in practice is player 1 wins on Smashville. Player 2 wins on Battlefield. Player 2 feels like he has to ban long, flat stages, like Kalos and FD. So he just goes, all right, back to Smashville. I saw so many sets where the same stage was gone. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 1, stage 2, stage 1, set's over. Like, there was so much of that. And a lot of people say, well, just ban the stage that they're winning on. And that usually is the right idea, and I think more people should be doing that. Don't get me wrong. Because I think most people are more afraid of what their character is not good at, as opposed to what the opponent is good at.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it's like theory versus practice, and like maybe I'm not good at Lilat, even though I'm supposed to be as Sonic or as Pikachu, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe my character sucks on FD, but his character is better on Yoshi's Island, so I need that gone. Like, that character's better on Yoshi's Island than I am bad at FD. So, I think people need to be... I think it's growing pains where we went from a game where we were struggling to find 5 good stages to a game where we have so many. So we need some kind of thing, because there were so many Game 5 sets and so many situations where the same stages were getting bounced back and forth constantly. It's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, and allegedly too, like, it played a pivotal role in that Myron Shutone, like, Richter battle. I mean, he ended up going to FD, and FD is seen to be bad for Richter, so it's like,
not good.
Yeah, so I guess that's tough. I mean, I don't know, personally, that stuff to me all reads the same, but like, as a competitor, it must be jarring to have to just have no options, like, because that's what it sounds like.
No, I think you do, because you can always play the game better. You can always... And,
sure.
And by the game, I'm not talking about Smash. I'm talking about the stage selection. And one of the things about banning 2 stages is that in this kind of rule set, you can change bans mid-set. So it's not like you're stuck through the whole set. It's like, if we're going to Game 5 and my opponent won Game 3 on a stage, I can change my ban and get rid of that from Game 3. So I think people just have... I think it's a mix of things. Either people need to learn to deal with the system and play around it, or we need some sort of modified DSR. I'm just a commentator. I'll do whatever you put in front of me. I don't, pretend to be it's portend, not pretend, because I'm smart. I don't pretend to be somebody. Is that the right word?
That's a Coney word. No,
I think I'm looking for purport.
I don't. Yeah, porpoise.
No, that's stupid. I'm an idiot. It's purport. I don't purport to be a better player than I actually am. But I do think that one of 2 things are going to happen. And I think that that's up to TOs and players.
Yeah, and it's kind of ugly.
Pretend is like an omen, by the way. I'm stupid. All right, anyway, keep going.
Genesis received a lot of flack for being seen as a funny farm of stages. It was very... liberal. We immediately saw the ban on Castle Siege, and what was the other one?
Unova,
just like immediately removed, like disconnected. You're on my block list. Like, goodbye. Like, not even 3 weeks happened. Do you see any more being sniped? Because like, I don't see, everything seemed pretty okay. Nobody was dying to, like, I don't know what feels to be like stage jank, you know what I mean? Like, every stage has jank, and you can, according to tasks, get every character in any situation to clip the stage as long as you hit them at the same angle with the vertex and this thing and smash coding, lol. But we're not getting like through Lilat sort of thing, and I don't even think, was Lilat played? Was it on? I don't remember.
I don't even know if Lilat was on, because I literally never saw it.
I was multi-stream. I didn't see a single Lilat. Do you see another stage being added though? I don't think for the meta, like, any additions are going to be made. It's
super rare that stages are added. Instead, stages are usually taken away, and I think Yoshi's story is on the chopping block.
Really?
Not because I think it should be, but because as time goes on, conservatism in Smash usually wins. We don't add stuff back. We don't say, hey, it'd be really fun if we put on X stage. The opposite happens, and we take stuff away. And I think that over time, people are going to say, oh, why do we have two versions of Battlefield? Okay, they're somewhat similar, but why do we have them both? Why do we have two versions of Smashville? Because Yoshi's Island is just Smashville XL. Like, that's what a lot of people would say.
Smashville
and,
S.
Yeah, and there are different things, like the fact that you can go under Smashville, but you can't go under Yoshi's Island. That's a big deal.
There's a lot of walls now. There's a lot of walls.
Yeah,
like
and that's
Kalos,
something that you have
Yoshi's.
to keep in mind. And the Yoshi's stages all have that in common, where they have slopes and they have the walls. But I think that down the line, that's something that people are going to consider, and I don't know if they're going to stick around, but I do think that if we're going to get rid of anything, those are going to be the first thing in people's sights.
Yeah, and I think Genesis had it right in having a expansive stage list, because you can't really add from there. Like, Frostbite did not add, it only took away. Nothing.
They made the right choice, yeah.
Yeah, like, they kind of, I mean, super controversial, whichever way you think about it, it's, you're playing with players' results, you're playing with the scenes, like, yes, and yes, but also grassroots, and we're kind of trying to find the sense in all this.
Yeah.
I personally did like WarioWare, I'll be real.
Same.
That was a stage, dude, but that
Same.
can't ever be added again, because the outcry and the red Twitter tape and everything you have to go through to add something like a stage? No way, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to be called Smash the Record. You're going to be called like any casual event, because it just will not be taken. It's like, dude, you want to add a second ball to tennis? No. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, 3 rackets?
Gone
No.
forever.
God. So I think Frostbite and other tournaments would benefit from a modification of DSR. Like many were saying, but like stages and everything, it seems like it's locked and getting shorter by the tournament, by the event, actually.
Yeah.
No one's released anything big, right? Like Pound hasn't done a rule set. That's usually like 2 weeks out, right? Like no one's really, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything much. So I think that's pretty settled. I mean, I think the meta like benefited from seeing like, okay, when we don't have, that sort of ruling, this is what happens. You're bouncing from stages. Like, if you happen to have won the rock, paper, scissors on the first stage, did that really determine the whole set? Like, that doesn't seem too hype, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that, and like a lot of people think that this might be just a viewership thing, but no, I feel like with the way that it is right now, winning that game one is so incredibly important.
And should it be? Because it should be, but should it be that important?
No,
like
not that much.
It shouldn't be set determining. Like, it can't be, right? Like it seems like you're playing on a soccer field that's sloped downwards, and you win when it's downhill, and there's only 2 more changes, so you're gonna win when it's downhill,
right?
Lose when it's uphill, but then it's back to downhill, baby, and I'm gonna win. Like, that seems not good.
I would like to see data, and I wish there was a way for us to compile this, but like, if game 1 did win game 5, like, I don't know exactly how you would do that.
Yeah, that'd be some digging. I'm sure people will do. I mean, that's like reporting a lot that like Bernard's Loop does. I think Josh from the Midwest, like 3A Josh. He was doing some stage data recording, but I think he was doing stage striking recording, because I know he did something at Genesis, but I think that's a great topic. Anyone watching, if game 1 was won, was game 5 won? Because that's not hype if it is.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that's the meta impact. We're gonna turn now to the section we like to call open mic. Open mic is really just that. It's like, what is it that we have kind of in our minds and we want to bring up? I have a hot fire tweet here that stirred up a lot of conversation post Genesis. Yesterday, the 24th of February, 6:21 p.m. That had to have been right in the midst of top 48 to top 8. And we had a tweet coming out from the ever-loving Tamim, a.k.a. Mistake,
Yeah.
And then someone quote retweeting and saying, I can't believe that people are talking about X, and then the Omni lay it on me. So what do you think? Smash 4 is better? Thoughts? Because yeah.
Taking it at face value.
The responses, by the way, were amazing.
The responses were great. Taking it at face value, I think Ultimate's way better.
In what regard, though? Because we're talking about spectator, we're talking about player, and we're talking about all regards. Every department, art design, soundtrack.
Yes, I think it is a better game to watch. I think it is a better game to play. I don't get bored after an hour, but this is all subjective taste, right? So, whatever. I don't want to get too much into that, but I feel like it's a better game. But, anyway, the problem with Mistake is that you never know what's, like, in the whole Bayonetta crew, I never know what's real, or, like, if they're messing around, so it might have just been something he threw out, you know, just as a joke, and then it got out of control. So when I'm talking about this, I just want to be clear. I don't want to, like, I'm not coming at Mistake here. No.
He's
really like the guy.
He's a champ. Nothing against him. The sentiment is all we're talking about. He's a champ. I love him.
Yeah. So what happens is he tweets that out. Whether he believes it or not, people do say it and feel that way in earnest.
But who though? But who? If you think about it, who's saying that? Because I don't see MKLeo saying that. I don't see.
Said it. Dyer said it.
So isolate that for a moment. Paradin, who's biggest fan of. And he's not doing as hot as he used to. And Dyer, who used to be
a very boring character.
And Dyer coming from Diddy hotness into Inkling hotness, which is hard and not really working out as much as he hoped to, as much as he was doing the work with Diddy, right? Like, I don't know. Is that coincidental? Or, I mean, I don't see. It seems like this is being brought up like Smash 4 is better or Smash 4 or something. CDK, same thing. Charlie the King.
Yes,
He was mentioning it, but he also wasn't doing too hot. And he didn't find the character, and he didn't like what he could have been doing in Smash 4 the whole time. So I think that's important to consider.
It is, but you have to believe people. You have to take them at their word. And whether they know it or not, like, maybe that's all true. And maybe it does come down to, you know, it's a new game that people are uncomfortable with, and maybe they're just not as good at it, so that's why they don't like it. You never know. I can tell you from personal experience, as somebody that sucked at Smash 4, but liked and was pretty good at the other games, I didn't like the game, but you never know. It's impossible to extract yourself from it and say, okay, do I not like it because I'm bad at it, or am I bad at it because I don't like it? It's so hard to know. Zero actually saying that he's not a huge fan of Ultimate either. Anti said the same thing. Yeah, so it's not.
But again, Zero doesn't have a main. Neither does Anti. I didn't even see Anti in. Was he at Frostbite? I don't even think he was.
No, he was not. And Zero doesn't really have skin in the game. Like, he doesn't have to like it competitively because he's not that guy right now.
Yeah, so. I mean, it is true. Like, it's something to be said of who's saying it and when it's being said. Because post-tournament blues, immediately. That is a send tweet, right? But, bro, when we're getting Joker and, like, who, like, you know, we get, like, a yuck at the end of that trailer and it's Banjo, like, bro, like, you can have gripes with the input buffer, but Banjo's coming, it's over, right? I think that someone took the tweet and said when someone says Smash 4 is better, =, it means I miss playing in a game I was winning, or I miss what I got used to. And that, I think, is more along what Samim was saying, in my opinion. Like, I miss doing what I liked, right? And now I have to learn something new, which maybe isn't what I was destined to do. Like, the way... Because that's kind of crazy. Like, in FGC, at least, Street Fighter 4, you got your champs, Tokido, everybody, the whole gang. Then Street Fighter 5, they like continue, they progress. There's a new mechanic, they screw with it a little bit. All right, crush counters are the play. I'm gonna use this and whatever. And they've also said, "Oh, I hate the game," or "I like Street Fighter 4."
They complain about it though.
But I'm talking about in the results transference process. We didn't get 1-to-1. You take PGR top 100, and I mean, let's just take that for a second, because like you're taking now like how people were doing after 4 years, right? 4 years after the entire thing, right? And now it's 2 months, so everything's different, everything's new. And so to me, like, I don't know, like Zero, he's doing the stream game. Nairo, Character Crisis. MK Leo somehow on top, right, with Ike. Buzz doing well, but also he was a character like secondary pick with Olimar. Ally having trouble. Salem
having trouble.
Anyways, Tweak, character, he was able to juggle, so he was able to adapt from Bayo, Cloud, Donkey Kong to now Wario, Wolf, Young Link, and Donkey Kong. Sure, Larry playing Fox, and hilariously enough, Light playing Fox, but then Light's playstyle likely being complementary to this game's engine. You know, that's where it's crazy. Ken, Work, Mr. R hasn't competed. Void, character switch. Como didn't do too hot at Frostbite. He was there, right?
He did not. Yeah, he was there. He did not. He lost to somebody. I can't remember who. ZD? Might have been ZD. I can't remember. He lost to somebody that was kind of a surprise. And yeah, it's very clearly not a 1-to-1. And some people are slower starters.
Definitely.
To find their character.
Yeah. Like Salem and Brawl, late starter. I mean, who would imagine that he did what he did?
Oh, Como lost to Nick C, and that's fascinating.
That's a Tri-State Falcon.
I don't know if you remember this. Como had a bit of a Falcon problem in Smash 4. He lost the fatality a couple times. And
Japan does.
Como in particular never goes off stage against Falcon. And, you're Cloud, dude. All you have to do is nail it. But he was scared to do it, and Fatality kind of ran over him a few times. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Fatality having issues because he's stuck with Falcon the entire time. He had some janky Mario that he cheesed Void out of a win at Smash Con with a cape. And he admits to that. I mean, godlike player. Sure. But Falcon right now, not the hotness. But he started to have some stuff I saw. But, I mean, he's definitely not... Yeah, but he's definitely not performing to the caliber Fatality was known to previously. Right. Lima, Yeet, because of the whole Bayo thing. Renai, obviously, he gave his life to the beta testing of this entire thing. Samsora, Peach, right? People that were character loyalists, where the characters are good now, boom.
Well, Goblin isn't one of those two, because he played Roy back in Wii U, and here's the glow up. Congrats.
Basically, yeah. Now all of a sudden, this is your season. Now all the snow. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, because all the Blondies got axed. No Sheik players anymore. No Zero Suit players anymore. Even the B tier types, right? Nothing, right?
Yep.
I'll just do a couple more. Shutone, hilarious, right? Of course, Shutone and Samsora were thought as top 20 players at all times, and now they're thought as top 10 players at all times. Right. Zenodo, again, not performing as well as he would like, but also juggling Peach now.
Zenodo's weird because he flies very much under the radar.
Always.
He won the pre-Frostbite sort of local thing.
Ursa Minor, did he?
And he beat Myron.
But I don't believe in the pre-local to major combo, because, I've never heard, dude, people are trying things out. I remember Sue was playing Ryu, I mean...
Okay, I got you. If you don't put a lot of stock into that.
I mean, godlike, right? But also...
No good, but...
I mean, yeah, it's the pre-game. Fallen, hello. Fallen Elegant, hello, right? Whoa there,
Elegant did get a win. Elegant did get a pretty good win.
He did. He get a dot. Who did he get a dot on? I forgot. Who did Elegant get a dot on? He did get a dot, but then
it was an ally.
But Elegant was in the 2GC finals story arc, and now it's tough because Luigi isn't Luigi, right? Fallen again, Rosa. I don't even know who Fallen plays right now, to be real. And then Cosmos, made that glorious switch to Inkling from Corrin. And then MVD, not did anymore, and the rest is history. So, I think taking Tamim's tweet and just, saying, oh my gosh, Bayo, you're bad, now Bayo's bad, you're bad. No, that is not... We're not doing that on this server. But for what it's worth, I think that this sentiment should be fading as time goes on. I saw Zan talk about Brawl was the same way when Brawl came out. Like, people were like, no, but that was also like, you're not going to win that fight with Melee. But also when Smash 4 came out, I heard that similar things were said. So some people still think Brawl is better. I mean,
you're talking to one of them.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But
you
again,
know,
I can't extract myself from my own biases, because the reason I think Brawl is better is because the stuff that's in Brawl that I like isn't in Smash 4. Edge guarding is way less good because now it's just ledge trapping.
And you were what was your peak in Brawl?
My top peak, there were no real like infrastructure rankings or anything, but the one that we did have, I was 17.
Worldwide, global Brawl player.
Global.
Coney.
Global.
Coney's easy.
Now the rankings weren't like I was above people that I should not have been, just to be clear, because like there are Japanese players that like didn't go to much, but you know, I was very clearly not 17 in the world. But according to this ranking, at that time I was 17. So that was like I was like a like
But to be
25th to 17th at nationals kind of guy. 17th to 33rd.
But to be like pretty stark though, like that wasn't even that, you were never in that conversation for Smash 4. Like no one was ever considering Coney.
No.
But so then that's kind of like, if Brawl would have continued, let's say Brawl had some Melee-esque sort of like no other game was made ever, and like 10 years later we're slogging Wii U's across the snow to Frostbite. And you could have been like a top 15 player, like legit, like a Sam Sora-esque at the end of Smash 4 player. Like that would have been your timeline. But then they uproot everything. Here's this new game. Here's Cloud. Here's Bale. This isn't the game that you're good at. So I don't know. Like, do you think another generation similar to what you had will be created from Smash 4? Like,
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I really didn't think so. Because I thought that a lot of the stuff that they did in Ultimate, from my perspective, seemed sort of iterative. So from Brawl to Smash 4, they took a lot away. So edge guarding, way worse. Now it's just you go under the stage, you pop up, and then you try to ledge trap. That's just gone. Character-specific tech and intricate like matchup stuff, mostly gone. Characters got normalized. Dacus, stuff like Falco losing his silent laser, stuff like that, little things. Got, you know.
I saw AC trolling everybody with that.
As did I. Yeah. That was a fun thing. But in this game, like trumping also, I love edge guarding. I love grabbing the ledge. Not being able to do that is kind of a shock. But I felt like in this game what they did was they took some of those systems that they put in Smash 4 and they really tried to iterate on them. So trumping is still in the game, but it's not something...
That's awful.
Right.
Situational. Nothing's off. Yeah. But it's not like before where it popped you at that one back air angle.
Yeah, and some players are using it to great effect. Like Nairo is still doing it, and like it can still catch you off guard. Edge guarding is way more important now, but recoveries aren't absolutely free, but they're definitely better than they were in Brawl. So I feel like they tried to sort of match it up. So I wouldn't think that there would be that population of people, but I'm not in tune with that because, again, I'm not part of that crowd, and also I can't remove myself from the game I played during my formative years. And I think we're going to see that a lot with Smash 4 people where, hey man, I played this game I started when I was 19, I'm 23, 24 now. I don't have as much time to practice, so I don't have as much time to get good at Ultimate, so that means that I don't get as knowledgeable of the game, so I don't like it as much. I wonder if people are going to be able to see through their own biases. Now, keep in mind, I have a lot of respect for the Bayonetta players because I feel like all of them have pretty good heads on their shoulders, honestly. People meme on them a lot, but I think that they've a pretty good perspective and pretty good self-awareness in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So I think that they are aware enough to recognize, like, this is probably just how I'm feeling. So when we're talking about this mistake tweet or this to meme sentiment, I think I want to leave that disclaimer that I don't think it's just like, I'm bad at the game, so I don't like it.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I do think a lot of people who are bad at the game and that's why they don't like it are going to latch on to that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That just gives fuel to that fire in the same way that saying that you don't like the way Bayonetta plays in Smash 4 gives fire to people saying, oh, yeah, we should totally ban the character and kill all of her mates. You know what I mean? Smashers have a tendency to take stuff to the extreme, and it sucks.
Yeah, because you're turning around as a level-headed, pretty centered, aware, multi-impacted sort of like you've experienced these places and things, and you're saying it as is, and then someone who has none of that, right, is going to see that and be like,
no perspective.
This is a game we got to abandon, bring back Smash 4 at EVO, like, you know what I mean? Like, so exactly. I think that pretty much sums it up, and I think the Bayonetta players, on top of what you mentioned, have it like so tough because anything they do with Bayonetta is met with extreme vitriol, and then whatever they don't do is then met with praise. But then it's like, bro, like you're cheering on me losing, like come on.
It's kind of nasty.
And yeah, how they kind of gutted her. I mean, like things don't work with her, but that's a whole nother conversation. And then like how combo strings and whatever. Different game, but like by and large, I think Tamim's tweet. Why is it hard to say? Tamim's tweet hits on something that we're probably going to see at the end of every major. Especially by the young, now old guard players, like from CDK to Captain Zack to Meme up to not Light, but Light's generation. The people who came in the middle of Smash 4 that like just popped off. Really hard, really hard into Ultimate. So that pretty much sums up Open Mic. Do you have anything else you want to say, Coney, before we close off and sign off for the night?
Not really. I don't know what's next. Honestly, it's looking pretty bare. I know we've got Pound coming up soon in full bloom, but I feel like Frostbite is going to be the last event for a little while, and I could be wrong. Maybe there's something I'm totally forgetting.
Not totally. So a quick glance at the PGR TTS tournament tier system. We just had Frostbite pass, being that other S tier, but we do have Tech Republic 4 coming up in Europe. That's going to be in early March. Nothing this weekend. Oh wow, February is over. So of course, we got Elysium coming up, Full Bloom 5, like you said, Region 2019, which is happening in Europe. MomoCon, actually. Oh my gosh, but that's in May. And Smash and Splash in June. Wow. When's Pound?
Pound is 420. Haha.
Annoying. So Pound's in there. Yeah, we just haven't updated it because they didn't give us entrance. These tournaments all hit us up and they're like, bro, we got the entrance. We're from Europe, and we're like, bro, like, shout-outs to Austria, because, like, why not?
Oh, actually, one last thing to talk about. Nimbus is this weekend.
Oh!
And that's kind of a big deal, because the last qualifier... I don't want to take too long talking about it, because I'm going to pass out, but...
Yeah.
Somebody's going to Summit. That's
it right there. That's somebody's going to Summit. Yep. I need a unrecognizable player to win if Tweak does not go. Otherwise,
well, I mean, imagine if Myron hit the juice at that event instead of Frostbite. Like, boom, you're in. You know.
Ooh,
that would have been awesome. So,
I need Mars. But anyways,
yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it for the rest of the season. Dotting with C tiers. There's like some stuff that's gonna pop up, like Pound and stuff. So don't look at this PGR and just think, oh, it's over. There's definitely some things that are gonna crop up. We also, in this age of esports, randomly just get an event, like, you know, boom, here's an event, and it's like, all right, well, thank you, but did you consult the calendar? But anyways, Coney, we can find you on Twitch, on Twitter, any other place you want us to find you at?
Nope. Check those out. Twitter is Twitter is twitter.com/ConeyZZ. Twitch is /Coney. I'm playing a game right now which is made out of clay. So if you come to my stream looking for Smash, sorry buddy, you're not gonna find it. I play that very rarely. So come through. I got a bounty I gotta do soon for Apex Legend. So there we go.
Ooh, Apex, yeah. I played that literally all last week when I had it off.
Very good.
Well, thanks, Coney. We're going to come back next week. I'll go ahead and close this out now. I'm about to mute you so you can curse all the expletives that you'd like.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Coney, for joining us. And yeah, there you have it. So that is the 7th now episode of SmashCenter. Feels like the 77th. I'll be real. If you see this and it's happening on your Twitter, on your Twitch, go ahead and give that little retweet, that little boost. We really appreciate it. I think that for what it counts, this series will keep just getting better and better as we keep adding to it. It's pretty fun for now, since things are pretty still with the ebb and flow. But yeah, I'm sorry from PGstats. If you've enjoyed so far SmashCenter, be sure to hit that like or subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch chat, please spam dog emotes for Coney's dog. My cat actually will probably be in here at one of these episodes, so you can do the same when it's her time. But yeah, enjoy us. You can find us on Twitter at the PGstats, at PG_suar, at Coney, Z as in zebra. We'll be seeing you next week around the same time. And also want to give a shout out to Thwack for doing the amazing write-up that he did for Frostbite. So next time, we'll see you. We probably talking about Nimbus and some other things that happen in Smash. You never know. It isn't Blow Up Tuesday, so we might get a cancellation or two. Otherwise, it's been great. It's been suar. It's been SmashCenter. And just get away from me. It's over. It's over now.